Hello, beloved. Welcome back to another episode. I am the host for a podcast called Ascended Earth, the Transfiguration of the New Human. In this episode, I want to talk about emotional intelligence. So, really, it's about the new Earth and the evolution of emotional intelligence. So, I had a listener ask me what is emotional intelligence, which was a term used in one of my previous episodes. So it sparked a special topic of discussion in this episode. And there is so much that can be talked, and said about this terms or these terms. And I also received a download of messages from my executive council of guides. There are many different books used to describe it, and I've studied some of those books. But this has been a natural ability in me, which has expanded in time, especially during my most intense alchemical transformation of my heart awakening. And this has helped to navigate challenges in life as well as working with different personalities. This ability is also in you. So I want to elaborate more on this topic in this episode about emotional intelligence. And as the new energies are intensifying and increasing on the planet, we are being bombarded with all sorts of chaos and emotional explosions. It's precisely why the heart is so key for all of this to be able to navigate through this huge amount of challenges on the planet. And emotional intelligence is starting to be adopted more and more. So, the intention of this episode, as I like to set intentions at the beginning, is to build awareness in how this is evolving for New Earth as we are being bombarded with new energy codes. So, let's explore what the books say about emotional intelligence. According to emotional intelligence, it is defined as the ability to perceive, use, understand, manage, and handle emotions. And people with high emotional intelligence are aware of their own emotions and others' emotions. So it discerns feelings too. So there's that word again, discernment. The use of the term first appeared in the 1960s, but gained popularity in the 1990s with a book called Emotional Intelligence: Why It Can Matter More Than IQ by Daniel Goleman. In emotional intelligence, there are five core components mentioned, which are empathy, effective communication or social skills, self awareness, self regulation, and motivation. So, in essence, it's how well you handle your emotions without exploding on others. So let's dive into the energy of all of this and some scientific evidence. And also I'm going to get into some of my intuitive downloads and how all of this is evolving for New Earth. There is one aspect that is not really mentioned in this, equation of definition of emotional intelligence, and that is compassion. Compassion is also, all of this. And I have an episode on a channeled message from Goddess Kuan Yin on compassion. So empathy is defined a little different in the books than the way I normally define it as. And I define empathy as being a sponge of others' energies. So it is possible to observe the energy from others. And I classified this one as one of our divine abilities that continues to be tuned up and tweaked energetically. The awakening of the heart is the union of the upper and lower hearts. In that union, you create a stronger intuitive connection of your heart that is beyond human feelings and emotions. An awakening of the heart is something that I've always emphasized for a while through all my work and my messages. And is based on my own experience and intuitive download of messages as well. So the next phase after this happens of this awakening of the heart is also connecting other components of yourself to your own heart. And that includes connecting your brain to your awakened heart, and which are meant to also work together. So you also have an alchemical wedding with your brain and your awakened heart. And I could go on and do courses on this as well to get into some of those, details. But going back into some of these other areas and some of the scientific studies that have been done in this, relation to the heart, emotional intelligence. And one of my favorite scientific research institute is HeartMath Institute, which consists of a group of conscious scientists who are open to all the evolution of these new energies for this new earth. And I reference HeartMath Institute more often because they do have resonance with a lot of my intuitive messages about the heart, the Sacred Heart Awakenings. So they refer to the heart as heart intelligence. So here are a few of what they say in regards to the heart intelligence. The heart is always talking to the brain through the nervous system. The heart makes its own decisions, and the heart has its own complex nervous system called the brain in the heart. And so here's an excerpt from their book, which is called The Heart Math Solution by the founder of HeartMath, Doc Childress, and Associate Howard. In their definition, what they say is that heart intelligence actually transfers intelligence to the emotions and instills the power of emotional management. So, in other words, heart intelligence is really the source of emotional intelligence. And so they conclude in their experiments and studies that intelligence and intuition are heightened when we learn to listen more deeply to our own heart. And it is through learning how to decipher messages we receive from our heart that we gain the keen perception needed to effectively manage our emotions in the midst of life's challenges. So this, goes back to a lot of my messaging that I call Sacred Heart Awakenings or the awakening of the heart. So I want to dive deeper into this because there's more to the energy of the heart based on my own personal experience, as well as insight from my executive council of guides. And so, a lot of these studies are evolving further with the evolution of our technology. I do feel there is coherence that also occurs with the brain and the awakened heart. And I refer to an awakened heart to this effect because it has a very much greater powerful energy when you bring the upper and the lower heart chambers together. And I'm talking more at the chakra level, the energy of the heart. And I do have to point out, though, that the heart can keep a lot of trauma and pain buried in the heart from past lives and other timelines, as I have noticed, in myself and also in my clients. So when you tap into your awakened heart, you also open up multidimensional doors to your soul in ways unimaginable, giving rise and access again to your divine abilities and expanding on these divine abilities you already hold within your soul. So there is a coherence between the brain and the heart, but also a coherence with all parts of your chakra. So when I refer to your brain, I'm talking about your brain center, your pineal and pituitary glands, which are also known as divine channels and psychic abilities. And these are transmitters and receivers too, and able to perceive beyond the veils. And it works with the crown chakra to receive new light codes and upgrades. And when these are in coherence with the heart, you are a very powerful force of universal love with divine messages. So now I just wish to share a brief exercise, one that I have learned with Divine Mother. And so this is about doing the figure eight um, symbolism and just connecting this intuitive coherence with your brain and your heart. So it's very simple. You just do like your hand motion, figure eight hand motion from your head to your heart. And you continue to do that, flowing this energy and just building this momentum of energy. So, and as you do that, you can feel that there is this harmonization as well that is increasing in its flow of energy. And so this just builds more of your own intuition as well, your heart intuition, bringing in also your other psychic abilities at the center of your brain, as well as the pituitary gland and pineal glands, which have a very divine purpose as well, as I just mentioned earlier. And just letting that sink in within yourself, taking a deep breath. And you could just continue to do that as often as you so desire. So I will leave you with that message, and I will catch you in another episode. Bye for now.